It's going to be the official unboxing of a new AM/FM radio by RETEKESS. This is called the TR633. Operated AC and off of 4 AA batteries. Just AM/FM, but it's a good sensitive receiver. Let's check it out. Factory sealed. This is the official unboxing, and we're going to check this little unit out and tear it down and see how well it's built. But you're seeing it unboxed for the first time, unwrapping the original wrapper. It's an AM/FM radio, and it's advertised as a super sensitive AM/FM radio. Frequency range, I should say, is 88 to 108 megahertz FM and 520 to 1710 kilohertz AM. And that is it. It is just an FM AM radio. No frills, perfect for having for those emergency situations where power might be out and you need to listen to news. Just simple on-off button, FM, AM, and a tuning dial. Just got your standard analog tuning dial, and the volume control is on the side. It has a external antenna, looks like an external antenna, is that what that is? External antenna plug and a headphone plug. We'll look at the instructions. And of course the AC power inlet. Power requirement is 4 times AA right there. So you can power it up by batteries. It's nice that it uses conventional batteries, not some of them use a rechargeable battery, which is fine, except for if your power is out and you have no way to recharge it, at least you can put regular alkaline AA batteries into this receiver. What are those jacks? It tells us that number 13 is an external AM antenna jack. So if you're wanting to receive distance stations, you can plug a long wire antenna into that antenna jack here, the aerial jack, and that will greatly improve your AM reception. I would imagine with a good antenna, this should receive AM DX really well. I'm going to plug in the power. We'll just give it a quick try here and see how well it works in my RF hellhole that's called the workshop, where I have so much interference that AM radios typically don't work very well. But we'll try this one and see how it performs. Okay, so first we'll try AM.
See a lot of snow at the border crossing, especially Peace Arch and Pacific Highway. You can find the latest border wait times anytime at Vancouver.citynews.ca/border.
Thank you, Kevin. Traffic and weather are coming up next. City News time, 12:40. For this move. The other thing is that a lot of people they
980 is coming in good and strong.
Massive percentage of EVs, which is visibility and compact snow on the roads. Delay travel if you're trying to head out of town, and if you go, you definitely need chains. Get 20 times the points Friday and Saturday at Shoppers Drug Mart when you load your offers with the PC Optimum app. Restrictions apply.
It's got some pretty good volume
details. I'm Trish Jewison in the AM 730 Traffic Center. I mean, is this a case of vigilantism?
No, I don't think so. I think it was unfortunate, you know, the turnovers and the puck management. And
the dial is a little bit off. That's actually 650. Then
the
there.
Line between the skating and the speed, and, you know, not being able to get it on the forecheck in the way Rick Tocchet likes, and that kind of brings us back to.
You know, this whole idea of honeymooning with friends, they're coining it buddy moons, is this growing trend. I mean, it's not...
Whiteout conditions throughout there. Highway 1 very slow in both directions. Number 3 Watt... Your golden sun will shine for...
A lot of the AM stations have gone off the air around here.
Right, delicious. Delicious apples US number 1 88 cents pound ਅਤੇ Bartlett ਨਾਸ਼ਪਾਤੀ 99 cents
ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਰੋਜ਼ ਦੱਸੋ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਇਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾਈ
Okay, that's AM. Let's just listen to the FM side of things. We'll put up the antenna to improve our FM reception.
They don't want to drive the car, let them drive. They want to go check it out with their mechanic, let them check it out with their mechanic. What do you have to hide? There's nothing to hide. Please.
Capital One are here to help you build it. You've got this. We've got you. Find the credit card that's right for you. Feel the rhythm in your heart. If the sun don't rise, remember, Father, I have to spend my time at work. My job is very boring. I'm an
It almost sounds like digital tuning, you know, like we're stepping through.
If you get a chance to enter to see U2 in Las Vegas at the Sphere, don't you worry, it's coming up again around 4-ish with Lynch, just in case you missed it.
Sur la santé financière des restaurants.
Decir viene de un estrato social
shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you follow those. Didn't need to find my
on your favorite brand membership benefits, including information on special opportunities, contests, and prizes.
That's my test transmitter. Sound quality's not bad. I mean, it actually has half decent sound for a portable radio. I mean, it's not no ghetto blaster, right? It's a portable radio. It goes plenty loud enough, and FM sensitivity is sensitive enough. It's pulling in all of the local stations. Don't know how it's going to perform on distant stations on AM at night when the stations start coming in. I would imagine with a half decent antenna plugged into that external antenna port, it is going to sound a whole lot better. And that's just a local FM station I've got. Actually, it's coming in off the internet. I've got it on a little low power transmitter just so I can hear it around the house because the signal is kind of weak. So, but they're on the internet, so I'm using an internet receiver to feed it into a little low power transmitter that broadcasts around the house. All right, so it's actually 98.3 that I had playing there, even though it's on 88.3. Anyway, let's pop this unit apart and just take a look inside and see how well this one's built. As they say, don't plug it in, take it apart. don't forget the screw inside the battery compartment. And I can hear it now. People are going to say, well, who in their right mind buys a radio? Like, we can get everything on our phone. We can get our radio stations on our phone. Well, that's great. As long as your network is up and running, you certainly can. But what if your network is not running? What, for example, if there's a disaster, if there's an earthquake, or if there's a bad storm, or some natural disaster that knocks down your cellular communication, knocks your internet down, then how are you going to get your news? People like to think that they don't need terrestrial radio, but it's actually every bit as important today as it always has been to get information out. There is the internals of this radio. It's a single board, literally single chip solution. Speaker plugs in. Looks like they have glued the plugs in place as well to keep them from popping out. You can see some glue on there, but we'll just disconnect the speaker as we want to go a little bit deeper on this and just actually tear it right down and see what's inside. So there's the tuning dial with the conventional dial string, and that knob is the AM/FM band selector knob that just sits in here like that and switches off FM and AM, and that knob just pops out just like that, that linkage. We're going to pull a couple more screws out of here and remove the board itself. Remove these screws. There's one chip I see here. There's probably only one or two chips in the entire unit. I doubt very much whether this is a actual analog tuner. I'm sure it's probably a digital tuner, and this is just well, that's the volume, but I'm sure there's probably just a pot on the back of the circuit board which changes the tuning voltage to a digital tuner, and that's how it's going to work. I'm guessing that that's how it works. Let's see if I'm guessing correct or not. When we turn this over, what do we see on the other side? Well, we see our AM bar antenna, and as I thought, it's just a variable resistor that is tuned, and all the tuning is done here. This is your oscillator, RF amplifier, demodulator, AGC, everything's all in this one chip. And this other chip that's over here on the other side of the board is going to be the audio amplifier chip. Got a couple rectifiers down here. Here's your AC power, comes in on the blue wires. This is for a switch. There'll be a switch down inside here that switches the batteries on and off. As you can see, if we look down here, the black wire coming from the battery compartment goes up to the board. The red wire coming from the battery compartment goes into a switch, which is activated when you plug in the power cord. It disconnects the batteries and provides DC power when you unplug it. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the DC is paralleled with the DC from the bridge rectifier, and that's why they disconnect the battery, because if that switch wasn't present, your AC power supply would attempt to charge the batteries, which would not be a good thing, because most batteries that are not designed to be recharged are going to leak if you try to charge them up. And let's just take a look at the way that this is wired up. So here's our AC power coming in. Our AC power is right here. Here's our bridge rectifier, which gives us our positive and our negative. The negative being the bottom one here, which is also what is connected to the battery terminal. Here's our positive terminal right there. As you can see, there's the battery positive terminal there. It goes through a 0 ohm resistor, just a jumper over some of the other traces that are going under it. Namely, there's two of them. One that goes this way and another one that comes under there. So that's just a little bridge to jumper over top of traces that need to get underneath your DC power. Comes in here, goes under this resistor over to the power switch, which is right over there. Off, and in both positions, power supplied from this one and also over to that one. So it's two positions on, one position off. FM joins those two together, and AM would join those two together to switch the band from one to the other. That's pretty simple. Again, inexpensive radio. There's not a heck of a lot to them. Looks a lot like this. There's been some hand solder work done on here. You can see they didn't even bother to clean off the flux. Not that it's going to be an issue, but there's certainly been some components that have been soldered in by hand. This bottom one here, this is the AM antenna jack that comes in here, and it just goes around and goes directly into the chip over there. There's the AM antenna, right into the chip. So, pretty simple solution. The FM antenna plugs in over here. So in theory, you could hook up an external antenna by just connecting it to the FM antenna itself on the outside of the radio, and hook up an AM antenna and ground over here. Earphone jack or headphone jack, looks to be, is it a stereo plug? Looks like it might even be a stereo plug, you know, so you could plug stereo headphones in and you'd get sound out of both ears. Volume control, tuning control, AM bar antenna. Pretty simple little unit. Dial string to change the tuning position, the tuning dial indicator. Pretty simple radio itself. We're going to throw it back together now, and we'll conclude this one. Let's look at this radio, and I'll throw the link to it in the description. Speaker is a 6 ohm 2 watt rated speaker. So the amplifier here, it's probably pushing more like a 1 or 1.5 watts. Is all that the output power is going to be. Again, that's to be expected because this is just a basic AM/FM radio. So I'm just going to throw it together now and make sure everything still works when I'm done, and then we'll close this one off with a final look. Alright, so there it is, back together and functional. It's a model TR633 FM/AM radio, basic little model made in China. I'll throw a link in the description for any of you that is interested in picking one of these up just to have kicking around in case the time comes where you need a radio for emergency news and so forth. It's good to have one kicking around just in case. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.